What's up everybody, I'm HoopsandHipHop, and today we are here to continue our 10 Odd Facts series. So far we've covered Ash, Brock, and Misty, Team Rocket, and the gym leaders, and you can check all of those videos out if you haven't yet by going to the Facts and Trivia playlist on my channel, or click the iCard at the top of the screen, there should be one somewhere. However, today we are going one step up from the gym leaders and covering the Elite Four. As you know, the Elite Four are the final test for any trainer wanting to become a Pokemon League champion, and since they are such important characters, they all have, well, distinct characters and personalities to them that, of course, have made for some odd facts over the years. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and check it out. Okay, starting us off with this first fact is a fact about one of the members of the first Elite Four, the Indigo Elite Four, and that would, of course, be about Lorelei. Courtesy of the Pokemon manga, Lorelei actually has some very unusual personal details specified about her, including her birthday being March 15th, and even her blood type being specified as the A-type. Staying in the manga for a little bit longer, we actually have another interesting fact about the Kanto Elite Four, as well as the Johto Elite Four. In the games, the Elite Four are obviously known as very strong trainers, and they're also sort of known as the protectors of the region that they're in. If anything goes wrong in the region, the Elite Four are there to step in and save the day. However, this is not actually the case for the Kanto Elite Four, and it's kind of interesting with the Johto Elite Four as well, but looking at the Kanto Elite Four, in the yellow chapter of the Pokemon Adventures manga, they are actually the main antagonists, and they are quoted as wanting to take over the world and kill all the people who weren't nice to Pokemon. I guess that's a plan. On top of this, the Johto Elite Four, while they're not antagonists in any sort of way, were actually all made up of people who were formerly members of criminal organizations, meaning at one point they were bad guys. So a lot more criminal activity going on in the Elite Four than you would normally expect coming from the games. Once again, looking at the Kanto Elite Four, because apparently they are so interesting, if we look to the games, there's actually a very interesting thing going on with the types that the Elite Four specialize in. Many members of the Elite Four actually specialize in types that are almost completely devoid of Pokemon in Generation 1. Lorelei uses the Ice type, which aside from Articuno, who is a legendary, there are only 4 Ice-type Pokemon available. Agatha uses the Ghost type, which in Generation 1 there are only 3 Ghost-type Pokemon available, and only 1 family of Pokemon being the Gengar line, and Lance is in the same situation where there are only 3 Dragon types available in Generation 1, and only 1 Dragon-type family, that of course being the Dragonite family. This could be an ironic, unintentional mistake on Game Freak's part, because we all know that Red, Blue, and Yellow weren't the most perfectly crafted games of all time. However, it could also be seen as intentional, because we're looking at the Elite Four here, who are the strongest trainers in the region, and maybe Game Freak wanted to signify that by giving them the rarest types in existence at that time, and making them the masters of those rare types. Moving away from the Kanto Elite Four for a little bit and taking a look at the Unova Elite Four, if you challenge Chantal after already beating the Elite Four and the champion once, she will quote one of her novels and she will remark at the resemblance between 2 other Elite Four members, that being Bertha of the Sinnoh Elite Four and Agatha of the Kanto Elite Four, so I guess we can't really ever escape Kanto. However, taking a closer look at this point that Chantal has made, Bertha and Agatha actually do have a very close resemblance. They both have the same hairstyle, they both kind of have the same face, and overall they kind of look like they could be sisters. There's no confirmed relationship between these two at this time, it's just really interesting that they've made 2 Elite Four members look so similar to each other. Maybe Bertha is supposed to represent the good, nice side, and Agatha is supposed to be the mean, evil side. I don't know, just something interesting and rather odd worth noting. Going 1 gen up from Gen 5 to Gen 6, we actually have an interesting little tidbit about the Kalos Elite Four. If you take a close look at each member of the Kalos Elite Four, even including the champion Diantha, even though she's not technically a part of the Elite Four, they actually each represent a key part of France's unique culture. We've got Malva the news reporter, who could be seen as representing the media paparazzi side of France that is popular in pop culture there. You've got Siebold the chef, who obviously represents France's famous culinary cuisine. You've got Wickstrom, who is dressed in his traditional knight outfit and obviously could represent the tradition and history of France. And then you've got, her name is escaping me, the dragon type master. I am just gonna put it right here on the screen because I can't remember it. Ooh, this is awkward. And we've got Drasna. I promise I knew that all along. I was just playing with you. Please don't unsubscribe. I love you. Who could represent the mythological side of European and France culture by the way of her dragon types. In the, as of right now, newest region that is Alola, we did not get traditional gym leaders, but we still got a traditional Elite Four. And one of the Elite Four members that's actually the most unique, because you only see her in the Elite Four, is Kahili. Now, Kahili is the user of flying type Pokemon, and her basically personality is that she is a golfer whose dad is actually the owner of the Hano Grand Resort. However, Kahili's identity as a golfer and the fact that she uses flying type Pokemon aren't just random things. These are actually very closely related, and the reason why she is actually a golfer and uses flying types is because common terms in golf that show how well you've done on a particular hole can be known as birdies, eagles, albatrosses, and even condors, all of which obviously are reference to birds, making this the perfect character trait for a Pokemon trainer. Another Elite Four member from Alola's Elite Four is Acerola, and according to Bulbapedia, Acerola is going to be anywhere in age from 11 to 19. Now, the reason why this is very notable is because if we take a look at that age range, it definitely looks like Acerola, both in appearance and in mannerisms and personality, is closer to the 11 side of that spectrum. And give or take a year or two, 11 is basically the year that you can become a Pokemon trainer. Sometimes it's 10 years old like in the anime, sometimes we see 12-year-olds, but basically 11 is the year when you can become a Pokemon trainer for the most part. So if she is indeed 11 years old like it looks like she is, she basically became an Elite Four member the second she was able to become an official Pokemon trainer, which is kind of insane and probably makes her one of the best trainers of all time. Like I said, we cannot escape the Kanto Elite Four in this video because we're actually going to go back there briefly to talk about Bruno. Bruno is actually somewhat of a unique Elite Four member himself because he's the only Elite Four member that's been a member of two different Elite Fours, being a member of the Kanto Elite Four and the Johto Elite Four. However, what's most interesting about him is that from Generation 2 to Generation 3, he actually got a major appearance makeover in that his hair was changed from a darker brown shade to a longer, more bluer shade, and his skin tone was significantly lightened, being more of a brown sort of color to basically just being straight up white. Now, it's really unknown why Game Freak would do this because there really wasn't anything wrong or controversial about Bruno in the first place. However, it's kind of ironic now because part of Bruno's name and where he gets his name is the fact that the name Bruno means brown-haired, which he doesn't even have anymore, so it just makes this whole situation even more confusing. I've talked recently on the channel about the close relationship between Koga and Sabrina. Once again, Kanto, like, what even is this? But I've talked about how it's possible that Koga and Sabrina could have been flip-flopped in terms of the gyms that they govern, or at least the badges they give out, because it seems like Sabrina giving out the Marsh badge should fit in Fuchsia City, whereas Koga giving out the Soul badge should fit in Saffron City. However, there is another link between the two that is rather odd and unusual. Koga actually uses a Venomoth on his team in every single game that Sabrina does not use one, and likewise, Sabrina uses a Venomoth on her team in all of the games that Koga does not use one, implying an even closer relationship between these two gym leaders, and now turned for Koga specifically an Elite Four member. Just kind of makes you wonder if something's going on there. And to round it off, we're actually going to look at something very interesting concerning the Hoenn Elite Four. If you take a look at the members of the Hoenn Elite Four, they all look in their character designs that they should be the master of a different type than they actually ended up being in the final game. For example, Sydney looks like he should probably be the member of a fire type team because he's got that little flame looking hairdo going on the top of his head. It looks like Phoebe definitely should be a water type master with her Hawaiian getup. Glacia, while not as obvious, looks like she should be the master of a ghost type gym with her old style looking dress. And if you actually take a look at her original art from Ruby and Sapphire, she looks exactly like a younger version of Agatha, who is also a ghost type trainer. And if you look at Drake, he also looks like he should be a water type master as well, with the whole sailor getup on. I mean, if we're looking at this seriously here, it probably doesn't have any larger implications, but it's definitely an interesting coincidence nonetheless. And there we have it, everybody. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and hopefully you learned something new, because I actually learned a few new things myself. If you guys enjoyed the video though, be sure to leave a like because it really helps out, and let me know which one of these facts was your favorite, or if you actually have a weird or odd Elite Four fact of your own that wasn't mentioned in this video. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe because I upload new content every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. It's a whole lot of fun over here. You'll really enjoy it. And if you're not yet, please do follow me on Spotify if you enjoy Pokemon music and Pokemon remixes, because I'm going to be giving away a copy of Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee over there if we hit the follower goal once the games come out. With all that being said though, I will be back Thursday for another video, so hit that notification bell so you can know when it goes live, and until then, as always, I will smell you guys later.